Hi, today we're unboxing the latest start deck from the Vanguard Overdress series, start deck 06, Minai Mirai. Right, so this is another Dragon Empire deck featuring the Sealed Blaze Maidens. Right, so just like the previous 5 decks, we have the exact same packaging, which is around 5 USD, the start deck. Right, didn't expect them to continue with the ultra cheap start deck. Right, let's open the package. So this start deck can actually work with both the, you can either go for the overdress, you can actually add Trickstar to this deck to work, or you can have a generic Blaze Maiden deck, or you can just play with a slight mod to the start deck itself. Right, so later this week we'll be testing out some of the trial deck mods, right? Pure trial deck mods. Right, so it's the same packaging as previous decks. So with the playmat, the first guide, and a 50 card deck. Right, let's take a look at this first. So for the first guide, it's exactly the same, which is the how to play. Right, with the Blaze Maiden as the example instead. Right, so this is the usual. For the paper playmat, right, it's slightly different from our usual ones. Right, so first of all, the playmat is slightly modified to show the new mechanics, which is the equipment. Right, so as you can see, the Vanguard circle is actually bigger, so you can put the left item and right item. Right, and at the back is a short comic series of how to play the game. Right, it's by Quilly Sensei. Right, so do check it out when you buy your start deck. Right, let's put the paper mat aside. Right, let's go for the main item, which is the start deck. So for this start deck, we only have one single foil, which is the main Pausagara. Right, it's a bit hard to pronounce. Right, so this card actually have a new mechanic. So when equipped, soul charge 1 and from your drop zone call a grade 1 and below onto the field. Right, so when you combo with the Trickstar, you can actually loop the Trickstar back onto the field every time you equip a new equipment. And with the soul charge, you can actually make use of the other Nirvana, sorry, not Nirvana, what's that called again? Right, the other Virina combo that uses the soul. And next, if you have 2 or more item equipped, you may Soul Blast 2, retire all your opponent's rear guard in the front row, and during this turn, this unit get critical +1. Alright, you can also combo this with some of the Eugene cards that actually make use of retiring. So out of the 4 cards, you have 1 foil, which is triple R. Alright, we'll go to the new mechanic in a while. Is it called equip? I can't remember. Right, so next is the grade 2. When you roll upon the grade 1 on the Vanguard circle, return 1 equipped card back to your hand. Was it Never mind. Right, so when this unit attacks as a rear guard, if your Vanguard is equipped with item, during this battle, this unit get power plus 5k. Right, it's very generic. Next in the right line, grade 1. When roll upon the grade 0, Soul Blast 1, search for 1 sword or the shield, right, which is the trial deck equipments, to hand and shuffle the deck. And as a rear guard, when attacking plus 2k is the generic effect. The new first Vanguard 1 copy. Right, so for the rest of the new cards from this set is 3 copy each, other than the equipment. So first of all, we have the grade 3. When enters the rear guard circle, counter blast 1. From your drop zone, add 1 equipped card to hand. So we have a retriever, which is very useful in this deck. Right, definitely a must play at this point of time. Next we have the grade 2 vanilla with no effect. And we have another grade 1. When boosting, discard 1 equipment to draw 1. So you can actually recycle your extra order card in your hand. Next are all the reprints. So we have the Sentinel, the Oberia, the Overtrigger. Anyway, for this Overtrigger, this is a 7 version. Right, if you take note, they actually have different flavor tags. So if you're interested, can check it out. Right, all the different versions from different trial that have different flavor tags. Right, next are the reprints from the booster 1. Right, so for new players that want to start and you want to have like more triggers, you can spend another 5 USD on the SD01, which actually can mix very well with this deck. Okay, next is the equipment. Right, sword shield, and if you put it next to each other, it's actually linked, so you can put it on the field like this. So we will start with the shield. So at any point of time, you can only have one of the. This is the left hand equip, right? It's on her left hand. Right, it's on your right, but it's on her left hand. So if you were to equip another left hand item on top, this card will be removed. And counter plus 1 to equip it is a order card, so you can play once per turn. Okay, so once per turn, when your unit get attacked, during this battle, the equipped unit get power plus 10k, so it's a defensive card. So every turn you can actually get 1 free 10k shield. Next will be the sword. This is for the right hand. So just like the left hand, if you were to equip another right hand card on top, this card will get removed and put into drop. So for this card, you soul blast 1 to equip it. And when the equipped unit attacks during this battle, the equipped unit get power plus 10k. At the end of the battle, if your opponent's damage zone is 4 card and below, counter plus 2, put this card to drop, and deal 1 damage to your opponent. Right, so just take note the trigger check still goes through. So this is the new mechanic. Right, let's have a simple. Right, let's put them aside first. Right, so the equipment will look something like this. So we have the right hand and the left hand. Right, it will stay on the field like this as is equipment. Right, so in the future booster, we have additional right hand weapon where you can just swap with another right hand weapon, or you can equip another left hand weapon up to your deck choice or up to the effects. And if I were to equip another equipment, let's say the right hand, if I play on top, the opponent on the bottom will get put to drop. Right, the reason why we do that is just for the soul charging and to retrieve your grade 0. Right, so even if it's in the hand, let's say you have extra copy, just counter equip it. Or you can use the effect, counter plus 2 and discard it, shoot the damage, next turn equip a new weapon. Alright, so now let's take a look at some of the generic cards that you can look into. So we'll start with the usual, which is the Overtrigger from BT01. Right, not sure we are getting any new ones soon, but definitely good to have. Next will be the new Sentinel. That if you have 2 or less cards in your hand, you can actually play this without discarding your hand. Right, so this also BT01 is a rare. Right, okay, so you can look for the parallel foil or the SP version like this. Up to your choice. This also on booster 1. Next we have Danger Steed. So this unit after boosting and the attack hits, counter plus 1, retire it. Choose your Vanguard and search for a similar card so you can persona right. This is I would say too costly for this deck, but it's good to have. If you're interested, it's from booster 1. Next from booster 2. Right, from booster 2 we have this unit. When discarded from your hand, put this into soul instead. So when you discard it for your right deck cost, you can actually put it into soul. So you can Soul Blast it for the other effect. This is a good to have. Next, this is if I comment, it's a rare. Or is it a common? It's a common, right? Common Gojo from booster 2. So when the Vanguard boosted attack hits, retire this to counter charge 1. So you can boost, counter charge 1, right? Equip a new equipment, pull it back into the field. So it's a good to have since you use a lot of counter blast in this deck. Next, this is from booster 3. Right, so if your opponent have 4 or more in drop zone, which is most probably the case, this unit get power plus 2k and shield plus 5k. So it's a 10k shield with a 10k booster attacker. So this is another good to have. These are the generic cards that you can have, you can prepare. Waiting for BT04 that's releasing soon. Next will be the Maiden cards. These can be gotten from SD01, which you will need. It's a Maiden critical trigger. Next we have the Maiden front trigger from booster 2. Right, so on Guardian Circle, this unit get shield plus 5k. It's also good to have. Heal trigger. Because of Maiden name, you can actually change with the little dinosaurs there. Next we have this is from the SD. So for this unit, you need to combo it with the start deck grade 2. So they're Maiden in name, you can have them to have the additional power just for fun. Right, these 3 of them. Right, not a must have, but it's fun to play even to have a more pretty deck. Next will be the interesting promo, and if I correctly, this is a common. Is it rare from booster 2? Right, so let's start with the promo. Activate once per turn, counter blast 1. Rest 3 rear guard with different name with Blaze Maiden in name. Rest them, draw 1, choose one of your Vanguard. During this turn, all unit in your front row get power plus 10k. So it's a persona, right? And if you combo with things such as your Nirvana, you can actually have a very, very strong field, even if it's not in this Blaze Maiden deck. So something that look out for. And for this unit, when it enters rearguard circle, you can counter blast 1 to retrieve a grade 0 and call it onto the rearguard circle. And when this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1, choose a grade 0 and you get power plus 5k. Right, so these are the Blaze Maidens that you can look out for. Next, we have, missed out one of the trigger. So this is another rare critical trigger from BT03. So after boosting battle, put this unit to Soul and choose one of your unit, you get power plus 2k. So you can boost your unit, put it into Soul, and next turn Soul Blast for your equipment, pull it back on the field to loop it. Right, it's an interesting unit to have. Next will be for the Overdress deck, you can actually put Trickster, Arcs, and Expecta in your deck. So this is for a typical Nirvana, and also to add a Blaze Maiden that counter plus 1, look at top 7, add a Overdress unit to hand. Right, so there's a lot of combo for this one start deck. So do try it out, and hopefully we will get like additional start deck for the rest of the nations. And for new players, I believe this is a very good starting point. It's very interesting right now, since this start deck have like the triggers reprinted here, which cost like $1 to $2 previously. Right, so now you just need to get one of this start deck and one of the start deck 01. Right, so see you again. We'll be doing unboxing for Shaman King next week if nothing goes wrong. And over the weekend, we'll be testing out more decks, some premiums, and alright, so see you.